Love is not irritable. This is what Paul told the Corinthian church in 1 Corinthians 13 when he's giving us the application for love. He says that love is not irritable. Now that phrase, that word that Paul used in his language, Greek, has a whole big broad meaning, and it takes several English words really to understand exactly what Paul is saying. And so depending upon which Bible translation you read 1 Corinthians 13 from, you might hear that phrase translated differently. It can be translated, love is not irritable, or love is not easily provoked to anger, or love is not touchy or fretful, or love is not overly sensitive, or love does not fly off the handle. The idea is that if you're a loving person, not that you would never get mad at the person you're loving or angry, but that it just takes you a long, long time to get there. Slow to be provoked to anger. And there's nothing wrong with being angry, especially at things that are, blatant injustice in the world and things that are cruel to human beings. When I see racism or when I see children being wounded by abuse, that makes me angry. But the idea here in this relationship with love is that the person you love, you allow them the space in your life. You allow them time in your life. And what you do is you are slow to be angry at their behavior, at the way things are going. It takes your fuse a long time to get to angry. And if you need an example, the example is Jesus. Jesus was recorded as getting angry 3 times in the New Testament. So the New Testament, the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they record the 3 years of ministry that Jesus had on the earth. Now obviously they could not record every single detail, but in their minds, after being with him for 3 years, there were 3 instances when Jesus became angry. So obviously in his life, he was slow to anger because there were lots of things in his life that could have led him to be overly sensitive or to be easily provoked to anger. He was provoked to anger, but it took him a long time to get there. And that's what Paul is saying, that if you're a loving person, you don't get irritated and exasperated at every little thing. You just kind of let those roll off your back like water off the back of a duck. It just doesn't stick to you, and it takes you a while. I love this definition that I heard a pastor say. He said this phrase, love is not easily angered, or love is not irritable, is literally, we can understand it like this. It's something between irritation and rage, somewhere in between irritation and rage, which takes offense often because one's self-regard has been dented, wounded, or punctured by a sharp point. In other words, when we hold ourselves in such high regard, we hold our own behavior in such high regard, we hold our own opinions, our own way of doing things in such high regard, when somebody bumps up against that and theirs is different, or theirs disagrees, that it dents our self-regard a little bit. It punctures our self-regard. We're so sensitive and so puffed up that all it takes is a little bit of friction, a little bit of contact, and all of a sudden our self-regard gets dented or punctured. And what do? We explode. We fly off the handle. And Paul is saying that is not the activity, that is not the action of a loving person. So today, one of the things you can do to not be so overly sensitive, fretful, so touchy, or easily provoked to anger, one of the things you can do is just learn not to take yourself so seriously. Bye.